Yo, what is going on, my people? How many of you guys are in here right now just waiting? I know there's hundreds of people in here just waiting to hear what I have to say about anything. Is that true? Are you that person? Let me get this going here on my phone so I can follow the chat. Oh, there's just one person. It's Armando. Bit Connect. Bit Boy Connect. Dude, I like that. I hope I'm not going to have problems with my interwebs today. They were kind of acting up just a few minutes ago. That's why I was a couple minutes late. God, I hate. You know what I hate about iTunes? How it takes over your computer as soon as you turn it on. What is up, Soup Terps? Jonathan, Andrew, what is going on, guys? All right, well, we're going to look at some news today. I got a very interesting video coming out for you guys. I don't know what day I'm going to release it. Probably tomorrow. I'm just going to probably put it out tomorrow, honestly. Going to be looking at which project is the most decentralized. Is it, and you guys probably already know the answer, is it Tron? Is it EOS? Or is it IOST? So big surprise there. You're finally awoke. BSV is the real Bitcoin. Wow. And no love. What does that mean? No love, Armando? What you talking about? Yeah, obviously Bitcoin SV is the true Bitcoin. Craig Wright was the apparent proofreader of the white paper. So I don't like how on my chat on my phone it no longer will update how many people are watching in real time. I don't know why it does that. I gotta like click on it. Yeah, okay. So we got 19 people. It was showing 4 for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I did. I said something about it. That's the first thing I said when I came on, Armando. Maybe there was a delay or something. I said, "What's up, Armando?" I said, "Bid Boy Connect." I got you, Armando. I'm on that. Well, let's start looking at the markets, guys. We got the total market cap at 246 billion. Bitcoin dominance going back up 57.1%. We got Bitcoin at 79.31. Took a dip yesterday, got in the 76s. And now we're back up in the 79s, heading back towards 8,000 again. I got you, Armando. Heading back towards 8,000 again. And guys, I don't know. Like, I wonder, what's up, Beantown? I wonder if we will see that we kind of land back in the same area that we were in before November. So if you guys don't remember what happened in November, which I'm sure a lot of you do, we had the hash wars, which, speaking of Bitcoin SV, that was when we had the Bitcoin Cash fork. And basically it was a length measuring contest, I'll call it that, but between ABC and SV. And that is what ultimately dropped the price from 6,000 to 3,000. And a lot of people said, to be fair, that eventually we had to get there one way or another. So it actually might have sped up the amount of time it took to get there. But if you remember before that, we sat in between about 6 and 7 for months. I mean, what was it? From, I think, June, we had our last time where we went over 7, and then we dropped back down in the 6s. And we stayed there until November when we finally dropped down below. And it just seemed like forever we were kind of stuck in between, 6 and 8,000. If you were to go back to earlier last year, it seemed like we were stuck between like 7 and 10,000. We just kind of hovered. And I wonder if that's what we're going to see. I wonder if we're going to see that hovering, that period of accumulation for a few months where we stay kind of in this range before we really start taking off. And, I do think it's important for everybody to understand that we're probably not going on a huge run that's going to go, like we're going to go from 8,000 to 15,000 overnight. It's probably not what it's going to be. We're probably going to slowly climb back up to all-time highs. We may be back up there by the end of the year. And then at some point down the road next year, when we're already above all-time highs, that's when we're going to go parabolic. And then the number where we're going to go to, it could be scary. Who even knows where it's going to be, Ben, is that you? What? Of course it's me. What am I supposed to be saying? What's up, Ashley? Good to see you. Joel, what's going on? Crypto Cruising, what is up? Is what me? Oh, is it because it's blurry? Why is my camera blurry? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why you're asking if it's me. Did someone take over my channel and I'm unaware of it? That would be really bad. Anybody see Seal Token pump and the mess up on some of the portfolios today? Don't know anything about Seal Token. Haven't really messed with it before. So, all right, let's jump into the big news of the day, guys. Well, let's look at biggest winners of the day. Biggest winners of the day, we got, God, that Matic, man. God, I really messed up on that. Sentiment Network, don't know what that is. BitTorrent has been really moving up lately. MadeSafe Coin and HoloChain, we got several over 10%. Only one loser over 10%, which is Insight Chain, which seems to be a bit of a pump and dump coin lately. At least doing some BART, some manipulation there. We had Zilliqa on a big correction. Might be a good time to scoop up some Zilliqa. Cosmos continuing to correct from its big run up it had. DigixDAO and Decred. So those are our biggest winners and biggest losers of the day. You're shocked I'm live. What? Oh, it's been a couple weeks, guys. It's been a couple weeks since I've been live. That's true. But I've been alive the entire time. All right, guys. So big news of the day, and let's talk about this. So we got AT&T now accepts Bitcoin as payment for its 150 million subscribers. And so once again, we have another one of these instances where we seem to have a company that is taking Bitcoin and crypto for its payments, but is it really? Is it really taking Bitcoin? So it says AT&T, the world's largest telecommunications company, became the first major U.S. mobile carrier to accept Bitcoin for payment. And it says AT&T customers will now be able to select BitPay as a payment option, allowing for bill payment in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. The telecom company had over 150 million subscribers as of Q4 of 2018. Sorry, I'm yawning. I guess I'm not as live as I thought I was. Now, BitPay, if you don't know, is basically a crypto processing company that converts crypto over into fiat and then gives that fiat to the companies while you're spending your crypto, and that crypto is going into basically a third-party wallet where they're racking up on the crypto. So I ask you this, is this really spending crypto? Are you really spending crypto with AT&T? Now, also, this only goes for bill payments. You can't buy new phones with it, and you also can't buy apps with it. It only goes towards your bills. And I tell you, it was very interesting. I can't wait for you guys to hear my Beards and Bitcoins podcast with J-Chains that we recorded today, where we talk about this, but then we also talk about some other stuff going on in the phone industry, which is very, very, very crazy. You're going to have to listen to that to understand what I'm talking about. But you know, with Beards and Bitcoins, we've really decided that we're going to use the name Beards and Bitcoins to represent that we're not only going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about like interesting stuff, manly stuff. You know, maybe not really. We probably won't talk sports too much, even though I wish we would. Me and Armando have a sports podcast, if you didn't know, along with Andy from the Coin Boys. But, you know, we're going to talk about technology, talk about robots. We're going to talk about beards. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Still, you know, crypto is the primary focus, but we talk a lot about technology, the future, robots, where war is heading, all kinds of stuff on the podcast this week. So you're definitely going to want to check it out. It was a very, very, very interesting conversation. So Seal Token was showing 14 cents today from less than a penny. It was a mess up, and people had thought they had hit the big time come up. I had not actually seen that crypto cruising. That is very interesting to see that. Man, that would be crazy if you thought you got this big come up and then all of a sudden you realized that you actually didn't. That's actually sad. I actually may cry. Robots. Yeah, robots are very interesting. I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan's podcasts lately. He talks about so much interesting stuff. So definitely would like to talk about, you know, some cool stuff because, I mean, how much can we beat crypto like it's a dead horse? You know, we talk about it every day on the channel. We talk about it nonstop. So definitely the primary thing. But, you know, when the markets are going up, it's exciting and we can talk about it. But I definitely feel like there's some other things that we can kind of explore, you know. So what's up, AdMate? Good to see you. So that is the AT&T news. You're interested in IOST. I'm torn between IOST and Zilliqa for my next purchase. Well, I have a great video on IOST coming out tomorrow, so make sure you check that. It's going to be comparing EOS versus Tron versus IOST, not Zilliqa. But I definitely think IOST is a great buy. It's been dipping a little bit. You know, it's been losing some of its rankings. Had a huge run up, went up to the 30s, and then it dropped down a little bit Yes, I did see the Rogan deepfake chimp sport team. It was insane. Basically, they have created AI that has mimicked Joe Rogan's voice exactly. His you wouldn't call it mannerisms, but the way that his voice changes depending on what he's talking about and the method in which he speaks. They have a robot that has exactly duplicated Joe Rogan's voice, and it is scary as crap. So that's some of the cool stuff that we actually get into. We don't talk about that specifically, but if you like robots, watch Westworld. It's a good series. Keeps you on your feet. I do watch Westworld, and I'm very excited about Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad going to be on the next season of Westworld. So that was on the teaser before the Game of Thrones finale. So rewatched the Game of Thrones finale last night, and I do have to say, the ending is not what people wanted, I don't think, but I do think they did a good job of ending, and I just think the writing of what they picked as the ending, they did a good job with it. That's probably the best way to say what I wanted to say without giving spoilers away. But we all wanted a different ending. So, I don't know. I'm sure you guys were all disappointed as I was with it to watch it. So, next story, we got Robinhood opening up for New York. If you don't know, New York is like a bunch of Nazis when it comes to cryptocurrency. They do not want people in crypto. So, the fact that they finally got Robinhood, gave them the okay to open, I thought that was, a big story. Like, not all states are even open for Robinhood yet. I don't personally think that Robinhood is super great for crypto, but we do have a lot of people in the stock world that have used Robinhood before that feel like that this will be a good transition. Yeah, I really yawned today. That this will be a good transition for some of those people that are in the stock market to come over to crypto. I don't think you can withdraw your crypto from Robinhood. Somebody let me know if that's not true. Thank you, Be Creative. I do appreciate that. So we have this as kind of some big news. And for you guys that are in gaming, we have the first engine game launch on May 25th. Space Misfits launching. I believe that we're all misfits in space. I think if we all went up there, none of us would be, what's the opposite of a misfit? A fit-in? We would probably be all out of sorts. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think about this engine game? It'll be hooked up to your engine wallet. Yeah, that's right, Andrew. Pump for IOST, no quarter 2 rewards. Definitely going to be getting those top tier. Excited about that for sure as well. But I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys are into engine? If you're super into gaming, you may not watch my channel because you guys know I'm not super into it. But, the game looks pretty cool. I mean, from a visual standpoint, at least right there. So, let's see. Players could connect their wallet, use their blockchain assets in our game, and receive new blockchain assets. So, if you guys watch Crypto Stash, you would know that he definitely is really big in engine and gives away some engine assets and things like this. Are we going to get a BitBoy gaming channel soon? That's a great question. What kind of gaming channel could I do? I've often thought that if I did a live stream gaming channel, like either on Twitch or on YouTube, that it would be very interesting because I'm so terrible and I don't even understand what I'm doing. I can play Madden. I will beat you on Madden, most likely. You might be really good, but I will probably beat you on Madden. Outside of Madden, maybe NBA 2K, maybe FIFA. I think I can hold my own in FIFA. I'm not super good at it, but outside of those games, I suck. My kid plays Fortnite. He's a lot better than I would be at it. He made a kill the other day. My kid's 7. He made a kill, and I was like, dang, it would probably take me 9 months to finally kill somebody else on Fortnite. Maybe because I'd be playing with kids that are 6 and 7, I might get some kills, but I don't know. I'm not very good. Have you seen the potential exit plan from Trade Satoshi account blocked and held funds? Analog have had big. I don't even know what Trade Satoshi is. Honestly, is that a new exchange? I saw some bad stuff regarding HitBTC recently, which doesn't surprise me at all. I've told you guys for a long time not to use HitBTC. But let me know if you guys are excited for this engine game. If you guys do want me to start a gaming channel, that would be insane. Yeah, would you guys subscribe to me doing it? It would be called The Worst Video Gamer Ever. That's what it would be called. It's like worst cooks in America for food, except it would be worst gamers in America, and it would be me. So, Team BitSquad, what is up? Davo, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Man, it's been a minute, I think, since I got a super chat. Oh, it's probably because it's been a minute since I did a live stream. That's probably why. But I actually do now officially have my AdSense hooked up to my bank account. It took me like 6 months to get it done, so I actually get these super chats now, which is kind of cool. It's an old exchange that mainly does low cap coins, but if you have funds on there, get them off now. Okay, so if you're on Trade Satoshi, get your funds off now. Of course, not your keys, not your crypto. If it's any exchange, I would suggest getting them out sooner rather than later. So I found this article yesterday or today that actually really lines up with what we talked about yesterday on the channel with Bitcoin more as gold as opposed to, being a payments system. This was trending on Reddit. So here's the thing, guys. I know sometimes I get kind of on these tangents and I start talking about like certain ideas that I have about cryptocurrency and, I might talk about them, like I talked about SIM card swapping for a long time, for like a whole month. We really dedicate ourselves to talking about that a good bit. Then we kind of moved on. This is kind of one of these things on my channel that I feel like we're talking about a lot lately, but I think there's good reason for it because this story is trending on Reddit because this is a popular debate that's going on right now. As Bitcoin is becoming more popular again, it's important to understand the future for it and where it may be going. Oh, 12 step, man. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on that, Davo. Really sweet, man. But it won't transform payments anytime soon. So basically, it goes here and gives 3 reasons. I think it was 3. Yeah, 3 reasons why Bitcoin will not be a currency. It kind of mimics or echoes what I was saying yesterday. Nobody wants to make purchases with a volatile currency. And I would take that even a step further. Not just, what's up, Robin? Good to see you. It's been a minute. Not only do people not want to spend a volatile currency, people don't want to accept a volatile currency, which is why AT&T is taking payments via BitPay instead of via actual cryptocurrency. So that is one reason. They also have payments exclude privacy. And so we've been talking about how Bitcoin has lost its privacy aspect because you can basically reverse engineer any payment trail of payments because you can see every address a Bitcoin has been sent through. And as long as you know one, you can kind of, we used to do these brain teasers in middle school. I remember that, you could figure out, if you just had one clue, you could figure out the whole puzzle. And that's similar to what, Bitcoin is going around or the way you can figure out all these, transactions with Bitcoin. So number 3, Bitcoin is more like digital gold. And Armando made a good point on my video yesterday on a comment. He said, yeah, but gold will always have value. Yes, that's true. Like if we had some kind of electromagnetic pulse that brought down the entire world's electricity, we would be in a bad spot. You can still access a Bitcoin wallet if you don't have electricity using something like Gotenna. You can still do transactions, but that's for your really hardcore, cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Your average person isn't going to know about that. So these are going to be some concerns. I need a nap, guys. I really need a nap. But these are going to be some of the concerns that, your average person has when getting involved in cryptocurrency. So, while Bitcoin does lend itself more to be like digital gold, than it does to be like a currency that is spent every single day for transactions, it's still, it still is more like gold than it is like transactions. That's long and short of what I'm trying to say. I lost my train of thought mid sentence there, which is not surprising. Coworker wouldn't take $5 in Bitcoin for a dare, and I've never been more disappointed in him. He wouldn't take $5 in Bitcoin for a bear. That's crazy. Been dollar cost averaging, Bitcoin for life, of course, bud. What about gold-backed coins? I mean, I would rather see a stable coin backed in gold than backed in the US dollar. We do have MakerDAI, which is backed by Ethereum. It's pegged to the cost of Ethereum, which I think is better than anything being stuck to the US dollar, because obviously that's, regardless of whether or not you feel Bitcoin will be the currency of the internet, we will have a currency of the internet. And so the fiat, the US dollar, it is a dying system, even if Bitcoin is ultimately not the specific cryptocurrency that takes it out. So the fact that we're using dollars to back our crypto, that to me is kind of a circular, relationship that will keep us locked into the same system we're in right now. So that's why I'm not really that favorable of that. So we got other stories here. We got another candidate accepting crypto donations. I was told in no uncertain terms to ever talk about politics on the channel. Now, I feel like I don't. I've talked about Andrew Yang a little bit here and there, but, I haven't ever gone into what I really believe politically. I've said there are some things I've disagreed with both parties, but I've been told I can't talk politics. So I'm going to try to talk about politics without talking about politics. So we have a second candidate that is now accepting crypto donations. In an extremely crowded field of 2020 Democratic presidential candidates, everyone is looking for a way to stand out and to raise more money. California Representative Eric Swalwell believes he has found a vehicle to achieve both cryptocurrency. It says on Thursday, he announced he will take crypto donations. So he is using the White Company, a blockchain payments firm, accepts Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Ethereum, Stellar, and its own stablecoin. So he says blockchain can change the world if we let it. This is very interesting, guys, because we got two people on the Democratic side, Andrew Yang and Eric Swalwell, who will now be accepting Bitcoin donations or crypto donations. And previously, we had kind of seen that it seemed like that it was more shaping up that more conservatives would be positive about cryptocurrency, but yet we have two candidates accepting crypto donations. Now, to be fair, there will not be a nomination process for the Republican side, the conservative side, as Donald Trump will get the nomination. That's standard what we do here in the United States for the incumbent president. There is no nomination, or there's no field of candidates running for the nomination. The incumbent gets it because most parties realize the incumbent has the greatest chance to, retake that spot and things like that. But, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about, different crypto donations coming through for different presidential candidates or really any political office candidates? I'd love to get y'all's thoughts on that. I think it's very interesting. Turn that down. I think it's very interesting. I think it presents a lot of problems for the candidates. The California dude is so boring. Mr. Mosty, I've been told I can't talk politics, so I will withhold my personal feelings about this guy, which I do have strong ones. I said too much already. Yang Gang, there you go. So I think this brings up a lot of issues for people that want to take donations in crypto. Seems to me as if there would be a lot of problems. Like, what if it turned out, like, okay, with US dollars, you can't really, there you go. Joel said he would never donate to crypto to a politician except with Dogecoin. I love that. But, okay, so we just said we can trace Bitcoin back, right? Every transaction a piece of a Bitcoin has ever been through, you can trace it. US dollar, you can't do that. We don't know the difference between $7,462,000 and, $18,374,061. We don't track individual serial numbers of dollars to see which each dollar has gone through. You guys know, you probably heard, and I don't know if it's true or not, but that, almost every dollar ever spent has actually been used to snort cocaine, or, I don't know what the stat is, like a certain percentage of dollars have been in a stripper's thong, whatever it is. It's high because the dollars circulate over and over again, and nobody tracks those serial numbers. If I take a dollar into my cash register and, later on I switch it out with another dollar in my pocket, I just switch the dollars, nobody's going to know the difference ever. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that's not the case. If you can track a Bitcoin that goes into a political, campaign, and this could actually be a good way, you want to talk about Russian collusion. I hope I'm not the person that's going to give this idea. But I'm talking about this because these are real world issues that could come up in the future that could be used as fuel to go against someone in a political place. Yes, Blake says it would be more transparent. Yes, it would be more transparent, but would that actually create problems? So let's say I really wanted to get Donald Trump. I'm just going to use Donald Trump for an example. I really want to get him. He was taking crypto donations, and I am gotta be careful what I say here. Hypothetically, person A is a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Let's just say that they're a member of the Ku Klux Klan, and they decide that they want to donate to the Ku Klux Klan, for instance. Okay, so they donate that money to the Ku Klux Klan, and someone from the Ku Klux Klan organization says, okay, now we're going to donate this money to Donald Trump because that was a big thing last election cycle, right? The Ku Klux Klan was for Donald Trump. Of course, I'm sure they'd be for any Republican. So, not that all Republicans are Ku Klux Klan members, but all Ku Klux Klan members are probably Republicans. That's probably the truth, which is a very small percentage of the United States. So then that person takes that Bitcoin and donates that to Donald Trump, and then people watch the hashes or see the transaction records and say, oh my gosh, see, the Ku Klux Klan is voting for Donald Trump. Or it could be something even worse than that, where some Bitcoin that gets donated to a political office, at some point it went through a terrorist's wallet, and it can be proven. So in a way, you could say that money, the terrorist money is funding, Andrew Yang or whoever it might be. I just think it could bring up some possible problems. And when you have people that, like Russia, that really want to collude in our elections, regardless of what you feel about the results or the results of the Mueller report, whatever it might be, the fact is it was proven that Russia was trying to interfere with our elections. You get some people that want to basically troll us or, mess with our elections, which of course the United States, this is what's so hypocritical. Like, I love my country. I love the United States. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I'm American, true and true. But we affect other elections the same way that Russia interfered with ours, and yet it's totally okay when we do it. So it's a little hypocritical in my opinion. But if Russia really wanted to interfere with our elections, crypto donations is a way they could do it. They could intentionally funnel money through, bad actors and then to politicians to make it look like, that these bad actors are supporting these politicians. So I think it just brings up some really interesting points that could be something in the future that, it becomes an issue. So this is why governments should be bullish on crypto. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. I was trying to be very careful on what I said. I was like, oh my gosh, I could go ahead and see if I said this thing and then all of a sudden it would get clipped out and now all of a sudden I'm a member of said organization. Let's see. They like the fact it can be used for crime, but don't like that it is trackable, unlike fiat. Yeah, I can definitely see that point. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting things that comes up, in my opinion, with politicians accepting crypto. Now, if you notice, these two guys who are accepting crypto, Andrew Yang and Eric Swalwell, if we were going to go, let's go to Democratic nominations betting odds. Let's see where these guys are at right now. Let's see here. Are these betting? Yeah, these are betting odds here. No. Should our international sites. It doesn't matter. Okay, so right now we got Joe Biden coming in at number 1. Bernie Sanders. I don't think these are in order. Let's see, where is Andrew Yang? Here's Andrew Yang coming in. If these are in order, he would be 6th. I don't know if these are in order or not. Maybe they are. So he would be 6th. Swalwell is way down the list. So Swalwell doesn't have much of a chance, in my opinion. So Andrew Yang has moved up the ranks quite a bit. Let's see if we can find OddsShark. I like OddsShark a lot better. Let's see. OddsShark. This is my go-to gambling website. Presidential odds. Let's see. It'll put it in order for us here. Okay. Now this takes into consideration the president winning or whatever. So let's see. We got Donald Trump, number 1. Obviously, he is the current president. Incumbents always have best chance to win. Let's see. Swalwell is not even on this list. So they put Ted Cruz on the list before they put Swalwell. So, we got 2 of these guys that don't have a huge chance. Andrew Yang is actually coming in 5th here. Has now tied Elizabeth Warren, which, another robot, has tied Elizabeth Warren here. For, gambling odds, they're both at plus 2,000. So if you bet 100 and they win, you get $2,000. I don't know who this Booty Geek guy is. Bootjig? I don't even know who he is. I know who everybody else is pretty much. But, so you got these guys, except in crypto, they're not, Andrew Yang does have a chance, in my opinion. Swalwell doesn't necessarily. So is he saying this to try to appeal to, he's probably seen that Andrew Yang has won over the cryptocurrency community. And is he seeing maybe an opportunity in that? Not really sure, but definitely, something you could consider. Transparency will destroy many political careers. Thank God Yang will slaughter Biden. I mean, I hope so. He has been going hard campaigning around the country. I agree with you, Jalen. Andrew Yang when he first announced his presidency, I mean, everybody took it as not necessarily a joke because I don't think people really knew who he was, but didn't take him seriously. You've got some of these, like I will go ahead and tell you guys, Joe Biden will not win the nomination. He's far and away the favorite right now. He was Obama's vice president. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Joe Biden will not win the nomination. He has a very poor history in running for office outside of his, Congress or Senate seat, whatever he had. He's done terribly every time he's ever ran. And here's the thing, since he is the favorite, I think what you'll see with Bernie Sanders and with Joe Biden, we have such a large Democratic field this time that the Democratic candidates will turn on those two guys. And when you see most attacks coming out on those two, it will be from within their own party. So, I think Bernie Sanders has a much better shot than Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden will win. So let's just say you knock those two guys out. I mean, now you're looking at Andrew Yang really being able to compete, Kamala Harris is very, very, very progressive. Don't know if she will be able to win. I don't know this Pete guy. So I don't know. Maybe Andrew Yang does have, maybe he does have a legitimate shot. Definitely the more that this campaign goes on, the more he is risen. He's gone from, completely off the radar to actually a person that people consider. I mean, like I said, he's ahead of Elizabeth Warren at this point. And not only that, but Andrew Yang seems to have the pulse of people. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast. For Tulsi Gabbard was also on that podcast. If you're on Joe Rogan's podcast, then you're reaching a different demographic than everybody else that's running. So, God, I said I was going to talk politics, then we talked about it for a long time. We were talking about it in terms of gambling, though, right? Gambling odds. What is up, Jack? Good to see you, buddy. He's Mayor Pete, and he is gay. I think he has a good chance of getting nomination. Interesting. What's he the mayor of? Is that the mayor of South Bend? Is he the mayor of South Bend guy? Maybe. Have you ever heard about Biden's son back in the day with a rental car? He died in an accident, didn't he? His whole family died in an accident, I think, or something like that. Yeah, I'm wrong. Thank you, Instagraph Digital Printing. Appreciate that. Come on, viewers, smash. Yeah, you guys go out of the chat, smash the like, and come back. So here's another story we got. Reason Hot Take. Did the recent SEC guidance pave the way for a Facebook big tech takeover of crypto? And, God, that guy. Old Zuck. Old Zucky Zuck. Zuck bucks or bust. How SEC rulemaking hurts startup cryptos and favors big tech. So SEC guidance has created a more attractive environment for regulated tech firms like Facebook to offer proprietary crypto assets integrated into their existing products that can be legally traded on existing crypto exchanges as non-securities. Meanwhile, the SEC has targeted startup cryptos for increased scrutiny. Now, obviously, the ICO seems to be dead, and this is what they're saying here. They're saying that if you're an ICO, you're going to have a hard time competing. Whereas if you have a large company already, then the SEC is going to be more favorable for you to create a coin and put it out there. So it's already creating, a first mover's advantage for people that were not the first movers in crypto, but were quicker movers in tech, if that makes sense. So now we've moved to IEOs. So IEOs are, initial exchange offerings. Basically, as soon as you buy a coin, it's going to be on exchange. You're going to be able to trade out of it. That's why I do some IEO reviews. I will not do an ICO review with. I won't say that necessarily. If an ICO were to have a guaranteed exchange listing, then I would possibly do it. But without an exchange listing, I won't do it. That's why I will do, sponsor content for IEOs. However, the SEC has already been looking at exchanges, whereas in the past, the SEC was going after the ICO companies. Now the ICO or the SEC is looking at going after some of these exchanges that are doing these IEOs, because even though after the sale is done, they're going to be on the exchange, while the sale itself is taking place, if an exchange benefits from that sale at all, then the SEC said they may go after them. So there's still some regulatory stuff that's very interesting with IEOs that we don't know what is going to shake down. But the long and the short is the SEC is going after ICOs. They're investing in exchanges for IEOs, but yet they're leaving this door cracked for companies like Facebook and like Google that want to get into blockchain and get into crypto. And if you don't think there are back behind the door deals going on between these companies and the government, then you are wrong. We know that the government, I don't know if you've seen House of Cards. I haven't actually seen the whole thing. I've seen some episodes, but everybody who says it, says, man, you wouldn't believe all the stuff that goes on in the show. And really, the show's meant to mimic real life. A lot of the stuff that goes on in House of Cards, there's a reason it's in the show, because it's probably going on behind the scenes in politics. Politics is the dirtiest game. Donald Trump said himself, he said, I thought that I knew what I was doing. I thought that I knew that I was one of the toughest guys out there in, building buildings. He said, New York real estate, I thought was the toughest thing out there. Nothing compared to politics. He got into a world that he was not expecting to get into. And I think it's true. It's a dirty, dirty, dirty game. 100%. And the fact that we have the SEC making it easier for a company like Facebook to get into crypto than it is for a new startup company to get into crypto, with all of the problems that Facebook has already had with Cambridge Analytica and all of these huge scandals of selling data, the fact that SEC wants to be more favorable to them, that's a joke. That is a direct attack on cryptocurrency, in my opinion. That is a direct attack by the SEC, by the people behind it, the lobbyists, whatever it might be, to let the big dogs continue to eat while shutting out and punishing people who are trying to get into the crypto space. It's very similar to what I'll talk about on my IOST video coming out tomorrow, where I talk about the decentralization between EOS, Tron, and IOST. IOST is the only decentralized platform that we have that makes it where almost anyone can get in the network. Almost anyone can get a node elected on their network. That's decentralization. The SEC, our current government, it's centralized, it's completely centralized. It makes it where new players in the space have a harder time getting in. And that's effed up, in my opinion. And, what is it going to take to change that? A total revolution? I don't know. The wheels may be too, far in progress. As Daenerys from Game of Thrones says, she wants to crush the wheel, to break the wheel. The current cycle of power, even though she I won't spoil it. I'll leave that completely out of it. But, they want to break the wheel. And that's what we really need to do in the world, is break this wheel of centralization. And I think crypto and blockchain is really the first step in that. The only way we're ever going to be able to decentralize our current layout of government, our current layout of enterprise, is through a decentralized method. And when you look at these large companies like Facebook, it seems as if it would be impossible to break them down. Yet people are craving, people are thirsting for some platform that they can get on to not be censored. Twitter, censored. Instagram, censored. Facebook, censored. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and someone said, if you type the words Alex Jones into Facebook in your status, even if you're say, oh my gosh, did you see what happened to Alex Jones? That's crazy. The post will automatically be changed to no one can see this post. That's censorship. If you listen to what Jack Dorsey says on Joe Rogan's podcast, it's censorship. It's censorship. We are on censored platforms. And how can we ever get to a place where we can affect change as long as we're censored? We can't. So, definitely interesting stuff to follow here for the way that the SEC is making things much harder. What's your opinion on Tron? I told you guys I'm not going to talk too much about Tron on the channel anymore. I feel like it's unfair to the IOST community since I run a node there. But I will, basically I rank EOS, Tron, and IOST in my video coming out tomorrow. So you guys make sure you watch that. Lobbyists gave up their soul long ago. Absolutely. Are you still using Honey Miner? I am on a different computer. I don't have it on my main computer here. If you want to use the Honey Miner on a Mac, I would suggest using it on a second computer, maybe an older one you don't use. I would not suggest using it on the one that you currently use for everyday use, if that makes sense. So let's see here. How many people we got watching now? 26. Where y'all have been quiet. Do you still hold 80? I do not have any Cardano at the moment. So here we go. We got last story I want to cover. We have IOST listing on OceanX. Over 1 million IOST to be won. IOST is excited to announce the listing on yet another major exchange, OceanX. Supported trading pairs on OceanX include IOST VeChain Thor and IOST Bitcoin. So deposit function opens May 24th at 10 a.m. And then they're going to have an AMA with Terrence Wang. I like to call him Terry. With Terrence Wang, he was on my podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, a couple weeks ago. Very interesting. Did you guys watch that podcast? Did you guys see J-Chains? He was struggling. I love that guy. He was struggling on that one. So you got IOST Promoter Prize, IOST Ambassador Prize, and a Flash Boys trading competition. What is Flash Boys? Is that like Flashdance? What is this? Flash Boys trading competition. I'm interested. I mean, not that I'd be interested in Flash Boys. It sounds weird. What is this? Flash Boys trader competition. I don't know what Flash Boys is. I'd have to maybe check that out, figure out what it is. But they're having a competition, several competitions on OceanX. So if you guys taken part in a trading competition, I've actually never done it. Mr. Mosty says, what's up, Crypto Collector? Mr. Mosty says, friendly reminder, win mana vid. That is Decentraland. So I had 3 videos I wanted to make. So one video is coming out tomorrow. So it is, I had people asking me to say, why do I say EOS is centralized? And why do I call it EOS instead of EOS? I don't know. But they say I can say it however I want, so I do. But I decided, to put that into a video and explain to you guys why I feel like EOS is the most centralized, decentralized platform. Also going to talk about Tron, where Tron ranks, and then IOST. Obviously, you guys know where I fall on that. So that was one video I want to make for you guys. So I have that video. It is done. All I got to do is make a thumbnail and throw it up. It will be coming out tomorrow, probably around lunchtime. Then I also have a video I want to do, which is about Bitcoin maximalism. And this video is going to take me a lot more time to make, I've realized, because there are many, many aspects about Bitcoin that I feel like I need more education on before I can confidently make this video. And it's based around this idea. This idea that one day all altcoins will fail. This is a hardline Bitcoin maximalist line of thought. One day, all cryptocurrencies will fail except for Bitcoin, and all of these ideas that you see other cryptocurrencies taking on, whether it's a decentralized platform or supply chain tracking or smart contracts, any dApps, anything that cryptocurrencies want to do outside of Bitcoin, that all of those will fail and all of those will eventually be built into Bitcoin. And I just don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's possible, but it's a conversation I've had with people several times over the last couple of weeks, including when I was at Consensus, and I can't get consensus, so to speak, on is that a realistic possibility or not. I'm trying to figure out if people can build on top of Bitcoin without having to get approval from Blockstream. Where does Blockstream, what kind of role would they play, in that kind of ecosystem? Blockstream is the development company that currently has the reins of Bitcoin. So I'm going to have Krista Rose on my podcast in a couple of weeks and hopefully get some of those things sorted out. so I can understand them better, so I can talk about it. So that's a big video I have planned. I just don't know. It might be 2 months before I can put it on. Decentraland is the third one that I want to do. And so probably I will be doing that video next week, I would think. Now that I got this one out of the way, going to be posting tomorrow. So Decentraland is it's virtual real estate, basically. So there's a place digitally called Decentraland, and there are plots of land there. And I'm really excited to dig into that. I really am hoping to get somebody from there on my podcast. Maybe get somebody to, maybe we can get Decentraland to declare a certain part of their real estate project BitSquad territory. That would be cool, right? If we had our own little territory there, that would definitely be pretty sweet. So that's definitely what I want to do with that Decentraland video. So I will be trying to put that together maybe next week, depending on if I can get someone from there on my podcast or on an interview for the channel. Then I might wait until after that. But those are some videos that I definitely have lined up for you guys. Of course, we do have our Fresh 5 videos every single day. Let's pause for an iOS break. I know that's y'all's favorite part. You guys like how I slipped that in there right before that #1 story. You really want to get that #1 story, but you got to hear iOS, because I will put this iOS down your throat until you buy it. I'm just kidding, but I really will. So that's what we got going on. But that is all of the news today. Do you guys have any questions? We got a few minutes left if you want, or we can go ahead and cut it off right now. That's what she said, but we can, I can answer some questions if you got any. Let's see, how many people are watching? I'm telling you, I don't understand why my phone will not update the people that are watching. We're moving towards 10,000 subscribers, huh? We're almost there. We almost got 10,000 subscribers. That's going to be a big day. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe nothing. But that will definitely be pretty fun to finally hit that 10,000 number. Seems like it's taking me forever, but I showed my channel to somebody the other day, and they're like, "Wow, you got a lot of subscribers." I was like, "It doesn't feel like that, It doesn't feel like it because there's so many other crypto people that have much bigger followings, but we'll get there in this next bull run when we finally start going up. Don't worry, we will have one of the biggest channels. I'm confident in that. Bullish or bearish on XRP? For the short term, probably bearish for the simple fact that it had a huge run the other day. And when we see projects, for the most part, outside of Matic, have a huge run, it kind of feels that in the long term. So we saw it with Tron. It took Tron a long time to kind of regain its footing. It went way up, and then it came way down. And then other coins have been pumping. It hasn't been doing so great. We've kind of seen the same thing with Binance Coin and some other ones. So Crypto Collector, that was actually the first story we talked about, how you can pay your bill with Bitcoin through BitPay, but it's not really paying, because you're using BitPay, you're spending your crypto, but they're not receiving it. So, it's not exactly what we're after. Bitcoin will reach over 10K. I do think Bitcoin will go over 10K, but honestly, I feel like it will be later in the summer. I like to be conservative on my predictions for the most part. There is a scenario where we could start running up very quickly, but I think if I said, look, we will be over 10,000 by the end of the summer, and we will be at all-time highs by the end of the year, I think most people would accept that. So, all right, guys, well, I'm going to jump off. I got a basketball game to go watch. I think I have a basketball game to go watch. Is there a basketball game tonight? I don't know. Let's see. Let me check and see. Regardless, I'm probably going to hop off. But let's see. When is the Bucks and Raptors game? It's been a good series. Is it tonight? Today at 8:30. Yeah, so I got a basketball game to go watch here in a little bit. I got to go, probably get the kids ready for bed and stuff. So that's all we got today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will talk to you guys later. BitBoy out.